welcome back to PSA TV. This is the Wake Up Call. Joining me on set right now, I have Mr. Michael Mungroo. He is running for the council for Currap Page for the Congress of the People. Good morning to you, Michael.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine. And how are you?
Not too bad at all. Very happy it's Friday.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad it's Friday too.
Yeah. If you look just outside, you'll see there's a lot of traffic. You got any to come down here this morning?
Well, I left home early, so unfortunately not.
Yeah. I mean, Currap has a lot of activities happening right now. We have the Currap interchange there. I'm not so sure it's alleviating traffic as yet. I don't know.
Right now it adding to the stress that we already have. But I think the end product will it will be fruitful, because I think it will kind of eradicate some in terms of the fluence, the seamless flow on that side of the highway. Yeah.
But I mean, Currap has always been plagued with traffic.
Well, I guess I think the proper signage and the proper no entry where it's supposed to be. I think if they do a general overlook in terms of how it runs on a morning, I think you have to be in traffic to understand this.
I mean, I'm speaking from experience here, because I lived in Currap at a point. Yeah. So I know that there are like particular times that if you leave home, you may just be lucky to get away from all the traffic. That's like about 5:30.
6 for liters.
Yes. And that is it. That is your cutoff time. Yeah. Anyways, getting straight into it this morning, for those of us who may not know who Michael Mungroo is, who is Michael Mungroo?
That's a good question. I'll say pleasant good morning to the PSA team and Tricia and Tobago. My name is Michael Mungroo. I'm the present candidate for COP, the local government election coming December 2nd. I live presently in Currap for the past 32 years. I was born and grew there. I have a family, a wife and 3 sons. I'm the owner of Kingdom Foods. It's a food place and a mini mart.
Okay.
Basically, my portfolio before this is doing in construction. I does building, we do foundation, we do welding, tiles, the odds jobs in the area. Yeah.
So, Mr. Mungroo, what would have led you to even first of all consider yourself a viable candidate for this post?
What would have led me to do this?
I mean, you can't just wake up one morning and say, well, you know, see, you're recruiting people, let me just try something. Or was it like that? I mean, it could work either way, you know.
No. Basically, it was not like that for me.
Okay.
Before this opportunity came knocking on my doorstep, my nickname in Currap is Fathers, and that does speak volume to you. Before, presently, right now, I am already a counselor in my own little community.
Oh.
Yeah. Being called fathers by the majority of the youths and elders.
That is really nice.
So this is just the COP giving me an opportunity where I could go forward and develop.
So you've already had that foundation, you've already gathered.
Concreted, yes.
So your respect is there,
the love
you're
is
well
there,
known.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of kind of graduating from that community bonding, that community love, and putting it further.
Exactly,
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I mean, how have you been received by the community so far?
Well, as I said before, the community know who I am. The community, whereas you have some kind of, they had individually had a relationship with me prior to this, whereas it's a form of transportation or a form of giving me a job, or a form of where they give us a job to do, come clean the drains.
Okay.
So basically, the youths in the area, the unemployed youths in the area, they gravitate to me, they come to me, to my home, what it is we have today, what opportunity we have. And so this is how I will do the response. The response, I will generalize it. It is fruitful.
Yeah.
Fruitful.
It sounds like that.
Yeah.
Just to touch on something you just mentioned, the unemployed youths. That is something that is not just unique to any one particular part of the country. Nowhere you go and you would say everyone has a job or, you know. How prevalent is youth employment in your area?
Well, this is one of the distress that we face on a day-to-day basis in my area. I know this is probably a countrywide issue, but I speak for Tricia. The youths in Tricia, they have no, so to speak, no opportunities.
Yeah.
Now, let's say it have opportunities where it's government oriented, but they don't have any knowledge of it. Nobody enhancing their mind or bringing it. This is what is going on.
Yeah.
Because presently, right now, I have, as we speak on legal affairs, I have 2 parents with 3 youths, which is 18 and 25. And as soon as we're done here, I have to go to Milas to register them, right? And I'll have a meeting on Thursday. So in my timing, I didn't even know about this program. The government has program like the CCC, and the youth in the area, unfortunately, don't have any knowledge of it, right? So as I come into the into this ball game, and I see the opportunities where we could bring it home to them, and now hard work is pay off. So what it is we want to introduce them is to take advantage of the government programs, take advantage of whatever it is that they have in your community and develop from there.
So is it that a lack of awareness, that is something you just raised, is it that we need to probably highlight these things more or push it more or just have like something in a community like I don't know, an electronic billboard which is opportunities for youths? Do you think that will help?
I think anything will help because right now they don't have the exposure. Because simple as on the news at 7 p.m. or on a social media platform, or as I say, simple as a PA system. This is what happening in the community. This is what the ages could apply to it. Speak to the people, engage the people, and engage people, let them know what's happening, and it's their choice to choose. Meet them, because sometimes they will say, let us go to Milas. But when we went to Milas now, and I asked 6 of them going in today, they don't have simple thing as the electronic paper. So this is why I'm in legal affairs here. So it's not that they don't want to, but even though you enlighten them, you need to support them.
Even when you look at, let's say, as simple as an ID card, some people probably don't even have that. And it's unfortunate because you made the point that it's not that they don't want to, it's just that the opportunity isn't
presented itself.
Yeah. And too often we find that happening,
And it's sad. It is a sad state.
Because these people could very well be talented. They could probably have some kind of, some genius hidden under there, and they just left in the dark.
Well, what it is I try to do as being the young fathers in Cape. As soon as they come out from school, well, from 16 years, they come around. They ride a bike, they come play cricket, so I interact with them. As soon as they reach 18 years and they finish school, some drop off at school. My portfolio is masonry, carpentry. These guys who are around me, probably about 20, 30 youths, I sure on a day-to-day basis, they could do masonry, they could do carpentry, some of them do tiles, some of them cutting, fabrication. So I does what I could on my part. But getting this opportunity is to enhance and bring to the enlightenment of the youth. This is what could happen, this is what we could do, but they need somebody to seek the interest. Because it's sad that I get the feeling that they lose the lack of love and attention. It seems like in the mindset, understanding them is like it's them against the world. And I want to let them know that it's not that. It's just that we as the elders need to bring back the sentimental and moral values back into our community and understand that when this generation here born into this world, these values already start to get watery. So I tend to take that mantle. Myself, I kind of confuse what is sentimental and moral values. This is why I have elders like with you and other people who's 50 and 60 can enhance me, influence me what it is, And I think when you add these values up, it equals to love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is something funny enough that you talk about that. I was watching an interview yesterday with a Jamaican woman actually talking about Trinis, and you know, she said she made a point that kind of struck me, and she said, you know, Trinis don't love genuinely, and we kind of we lack it, and we're too individualistic. It's simply put, I would do something if it's only benefiting me. And we've reached this stage in society where, sadly, that is our truth. But with people like you, what we can see now is that it's not an old school way, but it's more of bringing back values that seem to be,
make a difference.
And it seems like it's something that was slowly out of society for a while.
What I must add to that is that what she's saying, what the Jamaican national is saying, it is she speak presently on the state of existence.
Yeah.
Now, if we look back into time, it was not like this.
No, it wasn't. It
You
wasn't.
know,
Oh,
I
it
know
wasn't.
it was not
It
like
wasn't.
it.
It wasn't.
Where we went wrong between then and now.
I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't know what happened, and we just started being to
Selfish.
ourselves.
Selfish.
Yeah. And if something happened, you just see it and you turn a blind eye because it's not bothering you today, no matter it. And what's the familiar saying? It only affects you until it reaches your doorstep.
Yeah.
But that is so true. You know, what do you plan to bring to Curab?
First beginning, I want to bring myself to Curab. And bringing myself in Curab, I want to be held accountable to bring genuine representation. Genuine representation, I would define that from my point of view is listening to the people.
Yeah.
Hearing what they want to hear, meeting them halfway. You can't want to speak and not listen. You have to listen first in order to be genuinely productive. What I want to bring to Curab, I want the elders in Curab put aside we know it's election time, put aside party, put aside
That's
gender.
It's going to be a challenge.
Put aside race. No, I know it's going to be a challenge. It's not a walk in the park, but if it is we want change, we have to go back to basic roots. Yeah? We have to call on the elders because we cannot be blaming the youths of the day for the issues that we are faced with because we as a youths came here into this world meeting the elders here.
Yeah, we inherited a lot of...
So we inherited a lot of generational curses. We inherited a lot of traditions, so to speak. We inherited parties. We inherited culture. So what I'm saying, simple, in a short sentence, is that the elders need to do a little self-searching and know where we went wrong and admit that we need to step up, no pointing our fingers, to do something of value, of some genuine substance to bring some kind of exposure to the youth's mind, because it seems like in the mind, they have just paused and they're angry and they're just depressed and they don't want to hear nobody. So we have to teach them in a way as an example. Because if it is use an elder and I say, "Good morning, sir," and you in response to me, this is going on.
We get that.
You understand?
I see that, and I do it just to see. You know, we often talk about leading by example, and the elders are the ones to call out the young people. We have no manners, with this, with that. But you say good afternoon or good morning to the average. No, I'm not saying all people, all elders are like this. But sometimes you just say a simple good morning, good afternoon, they watch you like. Or first of all, if even you get an acknowledgement, you're good. But it's just like, and that's where we reach.
Especially if you look a certain way.
Yeah.
So you might be just a certain way, and you said you have the politeness to say good morning, ma'am. And I think we need to go back where it began with and esteem our brothers higher. Yeah, because to me, one of the main reasons, as you asked earlier on, why it is I came into the COP is because I understand that being individually, it only speaks to certain amount of people. But being a part of a team, it will speak to a broader, a bigger view. One thing I want to add to is that when good men, and I consider myself to be a good man, when good men stand around and do nothing, things will only get worse. And I do not want to be a part of depreciating the state of existence. I want to be a part of building and development. Yeah?
How far has Curepe reached in terms of its development from 32 years ago?
87.
From then to now, would you say Curepe has developed? Would you say it, or did it take a turn for the worse?
Well, Curepe did. Life goes on, time passes, development have been taking place in Curepe. We have better drainage, we have more efficient, things that in the area going on.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that we develop. But it still have room for improvement, right? I'm not going to make any excuses for it. I think we need to prioritize our mindset in terms of development.
Yeah.
If we want to really develop, we need to go with the perfect intent. Not just the right intent where we just do major cleaning. It have other issues arising in terms of in the whole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we need to check the intent in terms of how we want to develop our area. If it's the right intent or if it's the perfect intent.
Now, you've been on the ground communicating with these people in your community. What are some of the major challenges facing people of Curepe?
The major challenges, first to begin with, is that the lack of jobs, right? The lack of opportunities. Because if you look at to say that the youths do not want to work, I don't think that's truth. The youths want to work, but they don't want to be abused.
Yeah.
You understand? Come on, give them something and give them a proper hope. Right? That is one. The second thing is that the disposal of the garbage. Yeah. I think instead of I have to pay somebody to dispose my garbage, probably an old fridge or old mattress, and they take it up and go lower down the road and dump it in the empty land.
Yeah.
Right? Or in the night I take 2 o'clock in the morning and throw it in the ravine without nobody seeing, because I don't have the money to pay somebody to get to the beat dump yard, right? Now what I'm saying is that the proper disposal of garbage is a main issue in my area, Curepe. What we would like is that once a month or once a fortnight, you are entitled and free of charge to put all the garbage onto the road, not into the drain.
Yeah.
So that you don't have the relevant authority come pick it up. So that the drains and the ravines will be clear when the flood comes.
Isn't that how it's supposed to be,
It's
though?
supposed to be like that. That's what I'm saying. Which is the intent it's supposed to be like this, but what it is we need to do is to exercise your rights.
Yeah.
Let the people
Perhaps
know.
they don't know.
They don't know the rights.
Yeah.
Because if you know you put this stuff out and certain times they're not coming a week past, you should call the corporation, you should make
that is the corporation's job.
Exercising your rights in the community will help eradicate some of the issues that we face on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. And speaking of rights, the right to vote is something we all hold near and dear to our hearts. But in terms of knowledge and awareness, do you think that people are knowledgeable about their rights when it comes down to local government elections?
I don't think they know. I don't think they're fully aware of what is their rights.
Yeah.
I think they pay more attention to the general election, where the general election is the general, but the local have to do with you and I. Yeah. General is probably the whole country, but the local is where we need to understand this is our issue, this is our chance to step up, this is our chance to voice opinion, and once we are the people who have the power in local government. So if they know, well, this is the issues in Curepe, this is the opportunity we could get, come out, be our people, you have the power, put a person or individual who is willing to work, whereas a party, put proper representation in charge of the power so that that person will be held accountable. When you give that person the power, you'll bring it to your doorstep. Yeah?
So how has campaigning been so far?
As I say, as a son of the soil, I go into all the streets. All the streets. It doesn't matter where you think about Cape Verde, I not even know house on turn.
Yeah.
We start campaigning in Korea itself. But how I decide on going about campaigning, not just going around and shaking a hand and asking for your support and telling you winning bag. What I'm doing is that I actually put in my words into action than action into words.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is that we have resources of a 3-ton truck, the youths in the area. We go about, while we're going about campaigning, we cleaning up, hear any problem, we taking a note. If it's a tree, have the cuts. This is my I enter the construction. So we have the tools where we will garner support, right, and so forth. But overall, it's been successful. It's been fruitful. I can't say nothing negative about it. Yeah, Cape is my home, and I feel welcome. Yeah.
All right, and in case you're not joining us here on PSA TV, this is the wake-up call. I have on set with me the candidate for the COP for local government elections for the Kirap-Paje area there. We're going to head to a really short break right now and come back with more. Stay with us. The very beautiful Miss Tricia Trim. She is the COP candidate for Sangre Grande. Good morning to you, Miss Trim.
Good morning, my darling. Thank
How are you
for
this
having
morning?
me on this morning. I'm okay. I'm actually okay this morning.
Excited. I mean, local government elections are like right around the corner. How many days are we? God, I'm
I think
horrible
we
in
are-
math. But we're like a few days away. Probably just under a month.
Just under a month.
Yeah.
I think we're about 3 weeks away.
3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
Excited.
a bit, yes, but it's also a challenge because those of us who are out there, it's easy for the other parties to sort of relish in I would say, the distorted view that the public is okay and the public is all wearing and ready to go. A lot has been done to the public. The public is very much dismayed. They're disappointed greatly in the governance that they've had thus far, and as such, you find that most of them, we know during the period of time in our democracy, people have always decided, I'm not voting, this isn't important, that sort of thing. So we haven't had a record voter turnouts as we should. But this time I think it's really critical. And local government election, we all know and understand, is something that is very crucial to our governance, is very crucial to our democratic system. And most of the population just isn't aware of that, how crucial it actually is.
We were just talking about that because, you ask the average person, are you voting? They might say no. First of all, they may not know what local government election is about.
Yes.
And I think it's time that, we make this a little more awareness. Like, you just go out there, whether he suggested a PA system or something, and you just go through communities. Now, Sangre Grande. First of all, before we get into Sangre Grande, for those of us who may not know who Miss Tricia Trim is, who exactly are you?
Okay, for a lot of people, they would assume that, or at least a lot of people, I would have been known to them because of my mother. My mother was a former PNM councillor. She served the region of Sangre Grande South tremendously, I would say, not just because she was my mother, but because she did a great job, and a lot of people in the area had a personal relationship with her. And I think that is what being a good councillor is really about in terms of giving service. You really understand that you are a public servant to the people. And she fulfilled that portfolio really, really well. It's tough shoes to fill because people have this idea that, Miss Trim was Miss Trim. Everybody could go to Miss Trim. Everyone loved Miss Trim. And she served across the board, so it was never political for her. Once election was over, she understood, I serve everyone within my bridges. So anyone could go to her from any area. She wasn't limited to her area, saying, well, you're not in my district or you don't belong to my electoral constituency. She just made it her business to take care of individuals and people. And having worked in the community over the period of years, it is me now having to step out of the shadows and now walk in her footsteps to an extent. And what I keep trying to tell people, I know you all loved my mother deeply, but I cannot replace her. And I think that is an expectation that a lot of people have of me, that it's another trim, and I can't replace any individual in that way. But for me, having worked through Skill Center CSC, we've provided camps for children, we've provided training for elderly in terms of IT training, seniors. We have provided other community services where we work with the younger ones, so we do leadership training with them. We encourage our women and empower our women through training as well. We partner with almost any organization that we can in terms of bringing those resources into the community. Also being a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic alumni, it is also one of my mandates to ensure that sport and culture mesh. So sport then becomes our culture, and therefore we then push that through to be able to not only empower our youth, but to deter them in different ways, to bring the community, the social aspect of the community back together, making that link, that wovenness that used to exist at one point in time.
I'm sure most or many people would have thought you would have followed in your mom's footsteps and head to the PNM. Why COP?
I did stay within the PNM for a period of time thereafter. But I think it is when you get to a point of awareness, as you say, remember, people must understand that this is a democracy and we're all given the privilege of choice. And in given that choice, if I believe that I'm a mentor to other individuals, people are relying on me to make decisions, consciously, subconsciously. And I cannot align myself or remain in something that does not truly support who I am as an individual, or it does not support my community in the way that I would want it to. When my mother was there, that was a different era, a different time. Now, I cannot say that let's go past the governmental level, the ministerial level, at local level, where it really impacts the average person on the ground floor. I cannot say that they're giving that representation. I cannot say that my community has benefited in any way. And that's why I sort of stayed up, because I'm waiting to see, well, maybe the next time they'll send someone. But at some point, you have to make a stand and say, okay, do I believe in this? Am I willing to go down this road? My standards, my morals, even my spiritual values. Am I in an organization, or have I positioned myself with individuals who will support that or allow that to grow or will foster that? And I honestly can't say that I get that there anymore. In doing my research about the COP, it wasn't just me jumping from a party into another. It was really looking at all the parties for that matter. So it wasn't just a jump from one to the other. It was looking at all the other parties. Again, I'm not going to go back into the same thing. So there's this party, there's the UNC lineup with what I envision for myself, for my community, and my generation going forward. There's the ILP, there's DPP, there's any other party lineup. And thus far, I'm satisfied with the COP. I'm satisfied with what they're putting forward. We do know that they had a rocky past, but you're building on a future going forward, and I can support that future going forward.
Just like Mr. Mungroo indicated to me, the issue of joblessness is not just something that affects only one particular part of the country. I know that Sangre Grande has its fair share of it.
Oh, yes.
How grave of a concern is that to you?
I think it is mismanagement of resources. I think the problems that exist now have to do with individuals governing from the top, not necessarily from the bottom, go up. Because Sangirani is rich of resources, we're rich with skilled individuals. We are the largest area when it comes to agriculture in the country. And yet that is not something over the years that the governments have paid much attention to in terms of supporting, in terms of trying to harness it, bring technology into it. How do we support the average farmer on the ground floor? I see that we can use agriculture as a very profitable means, as a very, what should I say, as one of those outlets to be able to build the region primarily. Because a lot of people are already in it. The space is there, the land is there. They will need training. So if you teach a farmer now, in terms of what is now out there, these are the diseases out there, this is what is dealing with your crops. If we understand that their access roads to farms should be maintained, not meaning to bash anyone rather than putting out on a highway, that may not really serve us in that particular way. Then you have where they have greater access to their crops. You might even build small cooperatives of farmers. So you have smaller groups of farmers that can now come together, support each other, skill sharing. So this is what I'm doing with my crops. You can possibly try this. You have updated training sessions for them. So there's a lot that can be done with agriculture. You have our cocoa industry. We have a lot of estates within the region that have been abandoned, and they can be rehabilitated. But again, a lot of people say, well, nobody wants to go into cocoa farming. If I don't know.
And again, it ties back into your point of awareness. Like he was just saying, you know, there are the opportunities there, but how now does the and honestly, it's not hidden. It's in the open. It's there. You drive through Sangirani and you can see all these different things. Cocoa alone and coffee, investing in it, other than just the industry, you now have small businesses that can derive from that. So you train them in soaps that can be made out of cocoa. You can integrate coffee in different ways. We have chocolates that can now come from Sangirani. So there's so much that can be done, right? It is just a matter of the right people managing these resources and then adopting it from one community possibly to another, and then you have a region that then flourishes in its own local tourism. When you drive through Sangirani, what is something that bothers you most?
I think, honestly, seeing the hopelessness of the people. I think that bothers me most. You see people dressed, going to work on a daily basis, just as everyone else, but you see a hopelessness, you see a disempowerment in them. You stop at the local market, you talk to people, they're friendly, they're wonderful, but then behind that you hear the people talk about, but I don't know what we're going to do, we're just getting worse, you know. I think that is what really breaks me more than anything else, because I am one of those individuals who has that constant contact with individuals. You have mothers who throw their hands in the air, have tried everything. Ms. Remy could have bought something here, you could have done this, you could have done that. And it's heartbreaking and heart-wrenching sometimes when you have to explain to them, I tried to, but I couldn't get around the politics. I tried to, but the corporation wouldn't allow me to do this because I'm not a councillor sitting in there. I tried to get access to the grounds to bring more games to you all, but they didn't see that as a priority right now. So it's hard when you see so much is there that can be used and utilized. Yes, to be able to build the people, because after the election, it's about the people.
Yeah, it goes right back to the people of the community.
Right, and there are a few councillors, one or two, who are working, but then again, you're working under strain, you're working under pressure because
there's only so much you can do.
Right, there's only so much you can do for a region. My region is one of the, I would say, the largest regions in the sense of when you divide the polling divisions, and it is also a region that harnesses a lot of the resources that are necessary to move forward. low maintenance of grounds, low maintenance of community centers. I've been fighting and battling to get access to one community center that's just been tied up in a whole political strata, just to be able to bring programs in that will redevelop the area, that will, revamp the community vitality, the camaraderie within the community, keep the youths on the right track. But then, again, people focus more sometimes, or some individuals, I should say, focus more sometimes on, this makes my party look bad. If I give you this much privilege or power, so you're not looking at how it affects the people.
I want to touch on something you just raised there, community centers. And this is directed to both of you. Do you think that community centers at present are as effective as they were once in the past, or as it should be?
Well, they're not where it's supposed to be. I think it had the potential, it have the space. It just we need to fill these places and maximize the potential within an individual, within a group. Because simple things that it have activities like extracurricular activities where we could use these facilities than just having these doors shut, right? It have simple things like young parents, which I know want to work.
Yeah.
They have one kid or two kids. We're not going to look at why you have kids so young or whatever. Probably don't have the support in terms of
Child support,
from family
That's
support.
what
So what I'm saying is that if it is, we want them to go forward and develop their self and maximize their potential. We want to put things in place simple as instead of going to a normal person to leave a child there and not knowing, we could put some things in the community center where this is a public place where there's public people who are trained to do certain things. Next thing is that what I'm saying is that in my area, speaking career parish, is that it have a lot of youths. Youths, but besides the youths nowadays, it are the elders where they're over 50. We could use the community centers where we could call upon the elders to come in. We could have a yoga classes, engage the community, engage the adults. Where the adults is, they will have influence on the youths. If the adults stay home and they are frightened to come outside, the youths will take rampart on the streets and do whatever it is with no knowledge, with no experience of how to go about developing the streets. So, as I said before, the elders have a key role in the betterment of whatever issues we are dealing with in our community. The elders need to come out and be part and engage yourself, and then the youth will look on and see the need and see the want in doing these things. Yeah. So I think we need to utilize the community centers efficiently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. To answer that question, to add to what he's saying, I also would like to speak from personal perspective in Saint Gandhi. In Saint Gandhi, sadly, many of our community centers are not structurally fit. Right? So I know for sure we have one in Sangre Chiquito that's not structurally fit. Marachel, where I live, we have one or two community centers, they're not structurally fit. We have an activity center, and that's where the battle rages with Ms. Trim, because we have an activity center, it was done, we don't care which government it was done under.
And that is the point I'm getting to.
Right, that is a major issue. A lot of people
because what I
tend to
realized
hold
so
on.
far is that these community centers are designated for a particular party, and we forget that it's a community center.
Yeah. Not a
So
party
it's
center.
it's now a party,
Right.
and perhaps we should rename them.
And it has gone to the point, we were speaking last night about this, where, okay, to have your community running, you need a proper village council. Your village council is a link, whether it's your councillor or your MP, that is your link to your community.
Yeah.
They are supposed to be functional, they are supposed to be working. When the community or the village councils are frustrated, or I know you, you're my friend,
Yeah.
I know you, you're my friend, and we put like 30 individuals on a village council who do not understand their duties. They do not understand their purpose. You have a social welfare officer who does not understand, I'm supposed to be in the community, ciphering the needs of the individuals, assessing them, bringing that information back to the council, and the council is then supposed to relay that information to my local councillor or to my MP. If my councillor is not one of those people who's working, I take that information to my MP. You have your education officer. Your education officer is supposed to be responsible for bringing in programs, training staff, training the volunteers, ensuring that there are enough programs that meet the needs of the community. And that's another problem, issue that a lot of people tend to overlook or take for granted. No two communities are the same.
Yeah.
So what may be relevant in your community, even in my community, you have Gyrosing, you have the coal mine region, you have some parts of Beach, coal mine itself, Moranchel itself. No two communities, Boys Town, are not the same. The needs of the individuals in those communities are not the same. So when our community centers do not fulfill their function and it becomes political, then again, no one benefits from these things. Community centers now have been sort of
defunct.
Yes, because again, if you don't have a functioning village council, the community does not. Right, so it's mostly about if the government has something, we use it. If there's a local church meeting or wedding, but to see that they are being utilized the way that they are intended to. Where they serve the true needs of the community, they provide the training that is necessary, they house, if it's even so much as a pap smear, you can have a pap smear done in your community. You can now have prostate examinations done mobile, so you can have these things done at your community center. You can have your children trained at the community center. As you say, one of the projects that I've been wanting to do for the longest while, and he mentioned that, is a senior project where we have our seniors come into the center. Let's have activities for them. Let's do different programs for them. So you're supposed to have a community center that is properly managed.
Exactly.
Is supposed to generate its own revenue for the community itself. It's supposed to run itself. And then again, that is where proper skills and training come in, that those who are in charge, do their job and do it well. Even on a voluntary basis, it's supposed to be done and done well.
All right, let's stick a pin right there. It's just about news time, so we're going to head to news right now and come back with more. Stay with us. And welcome back to PSA TV. This is the Wake Up Call. On site, I've got with me Mr. Michael Mungroo and Ms. Tricia Trim. They are the COP councillors for the area Kirapaji and Sangre Grande, respectively. Before we wrap things up for today, I'm just going to ask you your closing comments.
My closing comments. I think I would like to advise the public of two things. One, I am aware that there are a lot of people who are still confused with regards to when general election is. So a lot of people need to know that general election is December 2nd.
Local government.
The local election is December 2nd. And that every vote actually counts, because we know what happened in the US, where a lot of people sat back and thought Trump couldn't possibly win. And yet we were faced with the end result and the consequence of that. I also would like to urge individuals to start looking at their politics from a much more open-minded view. Not simply because you have candidates who are challenging what they know as the norm, but when you are looking for representation, it really is about looking at individuals. So you're going beyond party, looking at individuals, and then deciding, can I trust this individual? Is this individual going to be accountable to me after I cast my vote? Or am I going to put myself in a position where I'm just, back where I started? So I trusted the party rule and I'm disappointed again. Because we don't want that to continue, we don't want people to keep feeling hurt, we don't want people to keep feeling dismayed and disempowered, we are hoping that this election, they really do consider the choices that they're making. Really make a decision for change and positive change. Really try more than anything else, to consider whatever decisions they make now, it definitely will affect the future, their children. So when they're making their decision at the polls, it's not enough to say, I'm fed up and I'm not going to the polls. This election is a crucial one. This is a pivoting point as far as, or at least in my opinion, to really tip the scale and say, okay, we had enough. Now we want good governance. Now we want responsibility and accountability. We want transparency in our governance now. And they can't get it if you don't put the people there who will make themselves accountable and responsible for their actions.
One sec. All right, Mr. Mungroo, your closing comments?
I would just like to urge the general public that local government, as Ms. Chim said, it haven't passed as yet. It is pending, it's on 2nd of December. I want to urge the elders to influence the youths to exercise their rights. Come out, bring the youths, the elders, bring the youths out, support, encourage them to exercise what it is, the rights to vote. Vote for, let me come out, let me break some. This local is basically as an individual in the community.
Yes.
This is our business, this is our problem, this is our issues. What I'm saying is that let us take our time and do break some generational curses where we put aside all the differences, put aside the party, put aside the race. And I think that the race issue is they want to bring back some old things from the dead. I think we had to put a stop to that.
Yes.
Put a stop to the racism that they want to enhance
to keep
it,
breeding,
to keep bringing back. Put that away. We in 2019. We're for real. You understand? We're in 2019. Come 2020, let's go into something a little more refreshing, a little more energizing. Let's go back into let's help each other up the ladder. Let's go back into simple, basic, like esteeming ourselves, our brothers higher than ourselves.
Being our brothers'
basic
keeper.
thing, basic like saying hi, saying hello. And I encourage the elders again, don't give up on your youths, don't give up on ourselves, don't give up on country. And for the ones that saying that they are fed up, times like these is the times that should vent your frustration and not stay away. Times like these is that the people who were put there, the representatives that they put there before, they will come around, trust me, they will come around and ask for your support again, because without you, they will not be re-elected. They will come around, this is the time for you to hold them accountable and question them why you did not represent me, or why did you neglect me, so to speak. And then from there you make a conscious decision.
Yeah.
Listen, this is what I want to do, this is what I see the future for our country, because if we don't make a choice as an individual, we will leave it to the, chaos. And I like to say this part again, when good people stand around and choose to do nothing, we will only go on a depreciating state of mentality. And I ask that we come out of that state, exercise our rights, and vote for better governance.
All right.
Yeah?
Thank you so much, guys. We have been chatting here this morning with the COP councillors for Sangre Grande, Ms. Tricia Trim, and Mr. Michael Mungroo. He is the candidate for Kirip-Paji. So that's it for this segment of our show. When we come back, we'll be joined on set by Runaman. Stay with us.